Good morning everyone. This is Kamikawa Kaolin. The Tokyo Olympics have finally begun. Thank you to everyone involved. This Tokyo Olympics is called birth pain. The feeling is that heaven only knows if heaven has given trials. There seems to be one, Asia's shameful nation, that smears the fine stage. On July 22, 2021, South Korea of Olympic Soccer Group B lost 1-0 in the first match against New Zealand. Lee Dong-jeong, who will carry number 10 after the match, a scene of refusing to shake hands with his opponent FW Chris Wood was broadcast on the Korean MBC broadcast. Lee Dong-jeong, who was asked to shake hands by Wood, with just a touch of his opponent's hand, "I got rid of this." In response to this, Wood had an indescribable expression. Former Korea representative national team FW Ahn Young-won, who was explained in MBC, "This manner is a little disappointing," he said. This act has been criticized as national shame, even in South Korea. However, in the video, former J-League Lee Sang-minimum and other Korean players dodge Wood and shake hands and hug. Even in MBC, Lee Dong-jeong was the only one who refused to shake hands, so apparently not all Koreans are shameful in Asia. However, to follow suit, on July 23, 2021, this time the Korean MBC, when broadcasting the opening ceremony of the 2020 Tokyo Olympics Live, it is controversial for using inappropriate photographs on the material screens that introduce the teams of each country. MBC is in the introductory photo when the Ukrainian team enters. I used a photo of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Also, when the Haiti team entered, the subtitle, "The political situation is in the fog due to the assassination of the president," was put out. Bitcoin photos were shown in the material photos that introduce the El Salvador team. This is because El Salvador last month introduced Bitcoin, the world's first crypto asset. It seems to be ridiculing that it was adopted as the legal tender of its own country. For the appearance of the Romanian team, I pasted a picture of the movie, Dracula. Even among South Korean internet users, the act of insulting these other countries without hesitation, is it in the spirit of the Olympics to sneer at the country? There were criticisms that, is MBC really a public broadcasting station? And, lack of diplomatic gratitude. Especially when it comes to photos of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. What is the difference between introducing Korea and including photos of Sanho department store and Sungsu Bridge? It is said that the voice was raised. Both have collapsed. In addition, the GDP of each country and the vaccination rate can be displayed. The screen shows that the country is so small compared to South Korea. The country of South Korea has no idea what it wants to do at the opening ceremony of the Olympics. What South Korea is doing is not at the level of bullying or discrimination in Japan. It is exactly the act of national humiliation, without any guilt, on a daily basis. The country of South Korea has such inferiority and bad points to the other party, other groups. Pointing out that is equal to proof of their excellence and correctness. I think this is an important value that cannot be removed in Korean society. In other words, without contempt skills for others, you can't unite well with your peers. I shouldn't be arguing or hating the other country like this time. It is a culture that requires you to bother to point out the inferiority and bad points of the other party and despise them. In Korean society, contempt for others is commonplace. There is nothing but that society accepts it. Looking at what they say and do, what Buddhism says, it is the hunger itself that is trampled by the four heavenly kings who protect Buddha. It's not a race that can be used in the international community. I don't think it can be helped even if it is said to be shame in Asia. How much shame will be overcoated at this sacred Tokyo Olympics from now on? I would like to take a closer look and ask you this. That's all.
MBC가 도쿄올림픽 개막식을 중계하며 우크라이나 선수단이 등장하는 소개 사진에 체르노빌 사진을 사용해 부적절하다는 지적이 나오고 있습니다. 23일 MBC는 우크라이나 선수단이 등장하는 장면을 송출하면서 왼쪽 국가 소개 부분에 흑백 건물 사진을 사용했습니다. 해당 사진을 확인해 보니 체르노빌 원자력 발전소가 폭발한 후의 모습을 담은 사진이었습니다. MBC는 국가적 행사에 우크라이나의 국가적 재난 사고를 담은 사진을 사용한 셈입니다. 지난 1986년 4월 26일 당시 소련, 우크라이나 소비에트 사회주의 공화국 키예프주에 있는 체르노빌 원전이 폭발했습니다. 이 사고는 국제 원자력 사고 등급 중 가장 심각한 수준인 7단계로 분류되었습니다. 7단계 사고는 방사성 물질에 중대한 외부 방출로 방사능 활동을 나타내는 단위은 베크렐 기준 수만 테라베크렐 이상의 방사성 물질이 외부로 방출됐음을 의미합니다. 7단계 원자력 사고 등급을 받은 사건은 체르노빌 원전 사고와 2011년 후쿠시마 원전 사고뿐입니다. 이를 본 누리꾼들은 우크라이나 대사관에서 항의할 만한 방송사고다. 미국을 소개하는데 월드 트레이드 센터를 사용하는 격이다. 한국을 소개하며 삼풍 백화점을 쓰는 것과 다를 게 없다며 MBC에 대해 질타를 내놓았습니다.